The following program is brought to you by the friends and partners of Henry Fernandez Ministries. We thank you for your support.
From the producer of the hit stage play You're Never Alone comes When It All Falls Apart, starring Chrisette Michele, Tony Terry,
When I'm with you, it's for real.
Shin Jacques,
I should put my trust in you and God alone.
Natasha Watkins,
You better respect me. I'm your wife.
Rochelle Saunders,
We'll put the right desires in your heart.
and introducing Alona Holmes. With a star-studded cast, it's more than a play, full of suspense and laughter. What do you do when it all falls apart? Coming Friday, October 2nd at the Sunrise Musical Theater, the Faith Center. Get your tickets now. Call 954-742-7832 or log on to whenitallfallsapart.com. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today.
The play was outstanding and with a great cast. I recommend it to everybody, and you should see it.
The music was great. It was a fantastic night. We loved it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our show today. I am so excited about what's about to take place on October the 2nd, right here in the city of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The big hit stage play, When It All Falls Apart. What do you do when things falls apart in your life? Do you, well, Lord, I don't know how I'm going to come out of this, or do you trust God knowing that He's got people right in your inner circle to help you get out of that situation? We're going to talk to two great special people here. In fact, they're a part of the play, and I have them with me today. First of all, everybody knows this young man, and you know, he's an R&B singer, best known for the hit single With You, and three-time Grammy Award nominee and Grammy Award winner, singer, songwriter. You know her, Chrisette Michele. We're so excited to have you. Welcome to the show. And Brother Tony, man, good to see you guys.
Good to see you too.
All right, I'm excited about this play.
Me too.
You know, I'm really excited about it because being a preacher, you know, I'm used to being on stage and sharing the message of hope. You referred to that earlier on in one of our shows. And I think this gives me an opportunity to take the message of hope outside of the arena of church and put it on stage, if you will, in a form of a play to give people hope, especially the unchurched people. You know, and when I was looking for people to play the different roles in the play, I thought of you, Chrisette, then you, Tony, and first of all, I was blown away. You know, why would you say yes? And sometimes that's the problem with us, you know, people. We always believe God, you know. We step out in faith, and then when He shows up, we're like, for real, God? You know. So, Tony, let me talk to you first. When you got the script, how did that connect with you?
I know people like several of the characters in the show, in the script. I read the script and I thought, first of all, let's just be very clear.
Yes, yeah.
I'm nothing like Eric.
Yes. He's trying to put a disclaimer out there, everybody.
I might have had a moment or two in my life, but, you know, Eric is a little bit over the top. But I know people like him.
Yeah,
and,
okay.
you know, I thought, you know, this is going to be really interesting. And then it was an opportunity to work with Chrisette, and I'm a big fan. I think that you're a brilliant artist.
Great.
And I'm proud to be on stage with you.
Wow.
And so I thought, this is and the message of hope.
Yeah.
That's really what stands out, you know?
Yeah.
The message of hope says, you know, in the show, it just really shines so brightly. My first read, probably about halfway through, I called my manager and said, let's do it.
Wow.
Let's do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Because it made sense.
Yeah, it made sense.
It was reality.
Yeah.
Right?
I like to call it, you know, slice of life theater. You know, the real stuff, because then you have the science fiction, you have the you know, the fluff theater, you have the buffoonery stuff, and then you have the real deal
Right.
And that's what I think this is. This falls in the category of real life.
Wow.
People will come and watch it and see, if not themselves, certainly parts of themselves, or
Right.
certainly, people that they know.
Right.
They might even be sitting with somebody who's just like somebody who's on stage, and then that moment of self-realization is very powerful.
Right.
You look at somebody who could be you, and you go, wow,
Right.
wow, I'll do that.
Right. And is the script about judging anybody and kind of putting you down just because you are that way on the negative side?
No, I think that it is what it is.
Right.
I think that the script plays out and it tells a story, and as in real life, things that you have no control over happen. Mm-hmm. And so, how do you deal with those things?
Wow.
What do you do when something transforms your life or changes your life in an instant? Mm-hmm. And what do you do?
Wow.
What do you do? And if you're a person that has no faith, I would be nervous about. But if you're a person that stands on faith and knows God and knows what that is, then you know what you got to do.
Wow. So, Chrisette, people are looking for answers, every day. They're searching for answers when it comes to their career, relationships, you name it. This script, how does that answer the question of the search or the quest for whatever we need in life?
Sure. It's so complicated to see people's responses. A lot of times responses that other people give inspire you to give a better one next time, right? And then some of responses that people make inspire you not to do that. And I think that you'll get both of those. You'll get some responses that say, okay, I've done that before, I'm not going to do that again. And you'll get some that say, oh my goodness, next time maybe I'll try that.
Right.
I think that there's a wide variety of ideas of what people think is the right thing to do. We show that in the play, and then we show what really works.
Would you say that you were able to connect to the script a lot because it was so much Chrisette?
Definitely the character that I'm playing, Nikki, reminds me of myself in many ways, in that she's a little bit judgmental /
and had issues with Eric.
Yeah, she's got some issues with this guy, right? But she knows the answers too. Right. I think that she puts a lot of pressure on herself to be the good one. And growing up, that was me. I was the oldest. I had 2 younger brothers, and then my mother had many foster children. And I was always trying to not be like the rest of her millions of kids.
Well, this had to be an easy thing for you to do in the sense that playing your role, not as the Eric, that's arrogant and so forth, but to be able to, you mentioned that this is real life. This is what's happening every day. I'm quite sure it was easy for you to play your role now,
Well, it is. I said that I'm not like Eric. Let me rephrase that. I'm not like Eric now. I'm older, I'm wiser, and when I was much younger, I really did think it was all about me.
Wow.
And I think a lot of people think that.
Wow.
And
that seriously.
Yeah, a lot of people think that it's all about them.
Yeah.
And then something happens that they have no control over.
Yeah.
And then they realize, you know what? There's something bigger. There's something more powerful. There's something beyond me that is making something happen. That's making all these things happen. And I better recognize that, or else I'm going to be in trouble. I won't be successful if I keep thinking, because I found myself in that predicament and thinking, in the beginning of my career, and I've been in the game for a long time. I started my career professionally in 1984. Wow. And, and I had some success right away. And I really did think, it was supposed to be like, even though my whole life moving up to that, going up to that time, I already knew that it was my destiny, if you will.
Right.
Like I knew growing up that music and entertaining was going to be my life. I never questioned that. But when it happened, I thought it was because of me. You know what I mean? And I didn't realize until a divine moment happened in my life that, it really wasn't. And then I was so humbled. God humbled me so quickly and in such a real way.
Wow.
And I found myself saying, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. Thank you. Because had I continued in that way, being both egotistical and, arrogant and just a real idiot, I think probably I wouldn't be still doing what I do. I wouldn't, because people wouldn't want to hear what I do. I mean, you can only wear a mask for so long. You can't fake people out.
There it is.
What's really going on, they're going to get it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It will reveal itself. And so
that struck a chord with
I
you.
understand that so well. Because sometimes being egotistical is not necessarily being rude or disrespectful. It's just telling God that he didn't make you the right way. Wait a second, God, that's not what you meant to do. Let me put a mask on.
That's good.
And sometimes it's an insecurity that masks. And so that's another time when God has to say, it's not about you.
It's not about you.
Come on now. Wow. I want to talk about this whole idea of, okay, many of us, you have talked about it before. You've had those high moments in your life, and God had to humble you. The part that I think people fail to understand, and the script does it so well at the end of the play, it's not that you're forgiven only, and then God says, okay, all right, you shouldn't have done that, okay, but then he gives you a second chance. Though people may count you out and think because of your past.
Yeah, don't put us there.
Seriously, because that's what society does. Your enemies, people around you, because you've made dumb mistakes, and as if they too don't make mistakes. Listen, let's just cut through the chase. Everybody's got skeletons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody.
Absolutely.
I tell my church all the time, is that some skeletons come out early.
Yeah.
But some are still in the closet. We all have issues that we're dealing with. But what do you do when you made some mistakes or other people done stuff to you that brought your life down? Can God give you a second chance? And that's the message behind this play.
It is, and a very powerful message. I've been counted out by people. And you know what? There was a time when I believed it.
Yes.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yes.
Even though I grew up in church and I knew better.
Right.
But it was the world and its impact and its influence on me that made me vulnerable to the point where I believed it, and I began to succumb to that. And then it was at the lowest time when I realized, you know what? The success that I had, you didn't give to me. You weren't the reason it happened. It was God. So how do you want to tell me I'm done? How you going to count me out? You never counted me in. He counted me in the first place. So only he can count me out.
Right, yeah.
And so then when I realized that, and I've leaned on that, and I trust him and saying, you know what? Say what you want to say.
There you go.
I know where my strength, and I know where my help comes from, and I know what I got to do, and all I have to do is trust God.
Yes.
When it all falls apart.
Right.
And when it all did fall apart, that was my saving grace. Is going back to what I knew was tried and true.
Wow. And you can win again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See, that it's one thing to have a story to say, okay, you made mistakes and that's it. But to be able to come back again and say, look where he brought me from. Right. I have a testimony today now to say, I'm an overcomer.
Absolutely.
My most favorite part of the second chance story is that it doesn't usually look like the first story.
Right.
How about those papers? Do you know what I mean?
Preach.
You had this incredible first story, and everybody thought that was success, and they thought they put you there, right?
Yeah.
And then the comeback kid, right?
Wow.
The prodigal son comes back with the second story, and everybody doesn't even know who you are. They don't even recognize this new you. That's so exciting about a second chance. He does it all over again.
Right. And the second chance of success, people can't take credit for it. See, that's the amazing thing about it. First time, you were trying to take credit yourself, and you were listening to people, and of course, the success, had you maintained that, people would then point fingers at you and say, I did it for you. But the second chance
God's
of
not
success
interested.
is when you can look back and say, you didn't do that.
You didn't
Yeah.
do it. You had-
Because I didn't even do that.
I didn't either.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
I'm
God
encouraged.
did this one.
I heard you say something about music and, you know, what we do and, you know, the church's perception of us.
Yes.
You know, as R&B singers.
Yes.
And singing in church and what that conflict, because I think I heard you say something
Yes,
about
yes.
you know, what made you nervous was going back into the church.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
you know, being judged by the people in the church.
And you felt the same way too?
Well, you know, I had my success. I grew up in church, but I had my initial success in the R&B realm, and then I felt compelled to do a gospel album because I knew that that's where it came from for me,
Right.
and I was getting backlash from the church. You know, yeah, I got people
Same thing
saying
you were saying.
I got people saying you're sending mixed messages, and you know, what's really going on with you? And I said, you know what? I think there's a time and place for a little bit of everything.
Yes.
You know, I think I also heard you say, you know, when I'm having a moment with my
wife, that's it.
I'm not playing Amazing Grace.
How sweet the song.
Although His grace is amazing, I might have some Luther on. You know what I'm talking about? But I mean, just because, you know,
Wow.
even, you know,
Wow.
that's what's needed. You
Yes,
know,
yeah.
we're multifaceted
Yeah.
people. We're not, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, to God be the glory. And I love God. Sometimes we have to just relax.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Not be so
Yeah.
uptight.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Too
because
spiritual. Too spiritual.
Too spiritual.
That you're no earthly good.
No earthly good.
Just take a break. You know, I think church people have got this false sense of who we are, that living the life as a Christian is church, work, home. Church, work, home. Church, work, home. That's not what God sent us here to do. There's nothing wrong going into a theater and watch a play
Right.
that sends an incredible story of the amazing grace of God that gives you hope to get a second chance at life. You know, there's nothing wrong going out, having fun, get beyond the Sunday morning church services. So I could just imagine what you guys went through.
Yeah.
And that is why I am encouraging people, go to the phone right now or log on to the website, the fastest way to get your tickets, because I know if you try the phone lines right now, the lines are going to be busy. Even when we are off the air, you can still call if you need to, but go to the website, whenitallfallsapart.com, and get your tickets right now. You certainly don't want to miss this. I know you're sensing and you're feeling the energy that's coming from this program today, giving you hope that, you know what, we just need to relax, chill out as a people. That for me as a bishop, I mean, when it comes to music, I love music, and you guys, that's your area. I want songs. Love. I'm not talking about love to God. There's a time and a place for everything. I sing my love songs to God, and I worship on Sundays and all that kind of stuff. But when I'm with my wife, my lover, I want the song that you did. What's the name of that song? With you. You know, I want the songs you sing.
You know what? I think that love is spiritual.
Wow.
So if I'm singing a love song, you know, a song like When I'm With You, it's so simple, so honest. It's spiritual.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's why, I've been able to sing with you in church.
Yeah. Yes.
Because it's a love song.
Right.
And,
Right.
you know, I love my wife. I love the God in my wife.
Right.
And so I feel, you know, when I was kind of being conflicted, you know, because I started to believe people telling me I'm sending mixed messages, and I was talking to my pastor about it, and he said, listen, because growing up, I have said, I want to go into the place where the saints don't want to go. All the saints are already in church, churching up and being prayed. Every time I take the stage, I don't care how dark and dank the club is. You know what I say? I love the Lord, and I don't care who knows. In fact, I want y'all to know that I love God.
Yeah.
And then I get somebody who'll come to me and say, you know what? I am not mad at you for declaring your love for Jesus Christ right here in this spot right here.
Wow.
That's where I'm supposed to be.
Wow.
That's right.
That the message of love, sharing in the place that, the people who need it, who need to hear it.
Right.
That's where I want to go.
Right. Go ahead.
For the first time in my career, I got tired of singing about guys because I'm not married. And so I said,
That's interesting.
Well, who in the world am I singing about? I don't even know the guy. It's not in the song.
Right.
If I am singing about him, he broke my heart. So for the first time, I said, I wouldn't write God an R&B record.
Wow.
Which is really scary.
Yeah. Because that was a no-no.
Because what's the church going to say if I'm writing their Lord, right, an R&B record? And then what are my R&B fans going to say if my R&B songs aren't about a guy? It was the first time that I went out on a limb and said, this is not about me. This is about sharing the love of Jesus Christ that I'm experiencing in my actual life. And it's scary, but it's one of those moments, the first one in mine, where I've been humbled in a way and realized that my voice is God's alone, and the gift that he's given me isn't just for me. So we don't know what's going to happen, but it's really fun to listen to you guys talk about how R&B music itself has blessed you. It helps me not to judge the gift that God gives us, and just decide to let it be his gift to give to the world through me.
But how is the world going to know the true meaning of love if someone from the outside doesn't come in and define it for them?
All right.
Think about that. I mean, they're going to sing about love the way they were trained and taught to love. And that's loving based on feelings and so forth. You guys...
Physical love.
Exactly.
As
you
opposed
guys,
to spiritual
love. You're bringing to the table a message of your own personal experience with God. That there are times you don't feel God.
That's the exciting part about, for me, and I think for Tony also, of being in this play, is that our gifts, our gifting, has been used up by so many people. How exciting is it?
Wow. That's good.
For us to get a phone call like this and somebody say, you know what, I got a way you can be a blessing to the church and to the world, and it's send it straight up to God. It's exciting.
Wow. I was like, why they call me? I mean, there's so many people who are in the gospel arena. There's so many other people. And I just said, okay, God, I get it. I'm supposed I got the call because I was supposed to get the call.
It's a God moment. It was a God moment because, of course, my first, thought was, okay, get somebody from the gospel arena. There are people out there. But I felt in my heart, based on the script, if you want to take the mask off, I want to bring people in this play as cast members that, the unchurched could relate to.
Yeah. But my fans started writing me saying, we're taking a girls trip over to Fort Lauderdale.
Yes.
I was like, can we meet you backstage after? I'm like, oh my God.
Yes.
They're going to see me like, praising God. Somebody might get saved. Oh my goodness. It's brand new. It's exciting.
It is. I have people asking, are we coming to New York? Are we coming to D.C.? We have to come to Charlotte.
A lot of people I see on social media, they're asking, is it only Fort Lauderdale? You never know. You never know. You never know.
It's exciting.
You never know.
Thank you.
I am so excited. And I got to tell you guys, I'm honored that you are able to accept your role and to be a part of this. I will never forget it. I believe this is going to be a long-term relationship. I really do believe that. And you guys are going to be on stage, and there are going to be thousands of people here at the Sunrise Musical Theater, and they're going to leave empowered. They're going to leave the facility believing that, I get a second chance at life. at living my best life now. That though I've had some setbacks and some issues in my life, you know, I may be a Gloria. If you don't know what I'm talking about,
come see the show.
That's it. Come see the show.
Because Gloria is something else.
Oh, God.
I say she's cray-cray.
I don't know.
She's cray-cray.
I don't know. I don't think she steps out of character.
We got the right person. Ilona Holmes. She is the right person. Let me tell you something.
Is it okay if I say she's kind of my favorite a little bit? Because she's so funny.
She's a standout. She's one of my favorites, too.
She is crazy. And in real life, she is unbelievable. And I tell you what, you know, if you ever have a down day, Gloria is the one you want in your life.
Yeah.
Because she's real. She tells it like it is. She holds nothing back. And I think, you know, talking about the mask that we said before, I think a lot of times, you know, we're like, should I say that? Don't want to say it. Gloria don't care.
Right.
Gloria gonna let you know. And at the end of the day, now she's in everybody's business, but at the end of the day, she's a listener. Got a sweetheart.
That's how she knows. That's how she knows, because she's been listening.
Wow.
The whole time she's been paying attention. She's a loudmouth. Her character is a loudmouth.
Yeah.
But you know, when she's letting somebody have it, she lets them have it because she knows.
Yeah.
It's real. You know what I'm saying? The information is like, you know, okay. You know what, you ain't right. What you did, and now go get me a drink.
You'll find yourself in the play.
Wow.
Certainly.
Yes. You'll find yourself in the play. But get your tickets today. I appreciate you watching the program. As always, I love you, and I believe that when things fall apart in your life, you can turn to God. He loves you. He'll pick up those broken pieces, and he'll give you a second chance at life once again. This is Henry Fernandez with Tony Terry and Chrisette Michele saying to you, thanks again. And faith in your God will move mountains out of your life. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
From the producer of the hit stage play You're Never Alone comes When It All Falls Apart, starring Chrisette Michele, Tony Terry,
When I'm with you, it's for real.
Shin Jacques,
I should put my trust in you and God alone.
Natasha Watkins,
You better respect me. I'm your wife.
Rochelle Saunders,
We'll put the right desires in your heart.
and introducing Ilona Holmes. With a star-studded cast, it's more than a play, full of suspense and laughter. What do you do when it all falls apart? Coming Friday, October 2nd at the Sunrise Musical Theater, the Faith Center. Get your tickets now. Call 954-742-7832 or log on to whenitallfallsapart.com. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today.
Thank you for watching Lifestyle of Faith with Henry Fernandez. It's your financial support that enables us to take the gospel to viewers in your area and around the world.